Great Universal Writers, Evidence 1. We will present the literary works in history.
Our first topic is epic and epopee. Characteristics. The epic genre narrates historical events of the past of a nation. Epopee is a subgenre of the epic genre, where the events are narrated in verses. Characteristics. Exhilaration of heroes of the past. Elements from fantasy and reality. Verbally spread. Invocation of a muse. Use of epithets, gods and humans. Use of ornate language, chronological order, and it can be written by many people. Some representative authors and their works are Homer, who wrote the Odyssey and the Iliad, Virgil, who wrote the Aeneid, the Eclogues, the Georgics, and Ovid. Some of the most representative works are the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Iliad, the Odyssey, Mahabharata, the Aeneid, and Metamorphoses. Here is a fragment of composition from the Odyssey. Analysis of composition. Story. It is about a Greek hero called Odysseus and his journey home to his son Telemachus and wife Athena, who is being courted by other men after the fall of Troy. Theme. Encounter with oneself, fidelity, and hope. Type of narrator. Throughout the text, various narrators tell the story, but in the fragment shown, Odysseus is a narrator, being a protagonist narrator. Types of characters. Odysseus, who is the main character, static. Penelope, who is the main character, plain. Telemachus, who is the main character, round. Athena, who is the secondary character, plain static. Poseidon, who is the secondary character, plain. Zeus, who is the secondary character, plain. Calypso, incidental character. And finally, Hermes, who is incidental character.
Songs in the Middle Age. Characteristics. The unit of government changed into fiefs, which were terrains granted by a king or lord to a person in which peasants had to work in. Crusades. Movement where Christian soldiers battled the so-called infidels. Religious faith. Warrior spirit. Taste of adventure. Business interests. The epic genre proliferated, and epopees were called songs of heroic deeds. Epics were composed by communities to represent them and their nations, creating a national identification. Representative authors and works. Literary works were composed by communities. The Song of the Nibelungs, Germany. The Poem of the Cid, Spain. The Song of Roland, France. This is a fragment of the Poem of the Cid. Analysis and composition. Story. It is about Rodrigo Diaz, the Cid, who fights for his honor after being banished by King Alfonso. Theme. Honor, justice, and dignity. Type of narrator. Judging by the fragment of the song, the narrator is omniscient, as the story is described in third person and we can know the thoughts of the characters. Types of characters. The Cid is the main character. Alfonso, secondary character. Minaya, Alvar Fáñez, secondary character. Doña Jimena, secondary character. Doña Sol, incidental character. Martín Antolínez, incidental character.
Our next topic is the Renaissance, which was a period from the 15th to 16th centuries. The Renaissance was characterized by the philosophy of humanism. People were more interested in humans and nature than in theology, and wanted to oppose medieval culture by retrieving elements from ancient cultures like the Greeks and Latins. Human beings were considered the center of everything, and reason was given a great importance. The perception of religion also changed drastically because of the ideology of liberty and free will in human beings, and the Protestant movement was born. Art was now used to express philosophies and to represent the human body as something beautiful and in balance with nature. One of the most important figures in literature was William Shakespeare, who wrote many famous plays such as Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer's Night Dream, Hamlet, and Macbeth. Some characteristics of his writings were that the story shows the past of the protagonists, the hero dies, the future of the hero is destroyed, and the innocent suffer. Here we have a fragment from Romeo and Juliet. Analysis of composition. The story is about Romeo and Juliet, who fall in love, but since their families are rivals, they can't be together. The theme is love and tragedy. Since it is a play, Romeo and Juliet doesn't have a narrator. Types of characters. Romeo and Juliet are our main characters. Tybalt, the nurse, Friar Lawrence, and Capulet are secondary characters. The watchmen are incidental characters, and the servants are environmental characters.
Our last topic is the Spanish Golden Age, from the 1547 to 1680s. Characteristics. In the Baroque period, Spain was a country that excelled the literary production. The Spanish Empire was falling. There were epidemics, people were moving to America. The topics of the composition were more popular and appealing, but also with more depth and pessimism. Representative authors and works. Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra, also known as the Manco de Lepanto. He wrote Don Quixote de la Mancha. Francisco de Quevedo, Luis de Góngora, Lope de Vega. Fragment of composition. Fragment from Don Quixote. Analysis of composition. Story. It's about Don Quixote, a crazy old man that decides to find adventures, like in the chivalry books he read, along with his companion Sancho Panza. Theme. Justice, satire, and chivalry. Type of narrator. It's an omniscient narrator who describes the events that happen and the thoughts and dialogues of the characters. Types of characters. Don Quixote, main character. Sancho Panza, main character. The Duke and Duchess, secondary characters. Altisadora, incidental. Samson Carrasco, secondary character. The Priest, secondary character. Cardenio, incidental. These are our references. Thank you for your attention.